Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Today's Restaurant News Networking Group. We have a speaker from the group today, James Walker from Aramark Coffee, and we'll get to him in a moment. We have some new people here today. If you would, when I call you, just give us a quick, hi, my name is, my company, and we'll come back to you later when we do the intro. So Chris Phipps, hello, welcome aboard.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. My name's Chris Phipps. I work for Comcast in television advertising, and I specialize in restaurants.
Yeah, well, we're going to come to you for video. Okay, and Naria from Watson Distributors. Are you there? You're on mute. Okay, Lou, are you? Oh, she doesn't have. All right, we'll get back with. All right. Let me introduce James Walker from Aramark, who's going to do his presentation today. And thank you. And anybody want to volunteer to do next week? We have an opening for next week. Don't all answer at once. All right. We'll deal with it during the week. All right, James, the floor is yours.
All right, let me see if I can share screen here.
Well, let me get you. Yeah. Go for it.
All right, let's see what we got here. There I am. Everybody see it?
Yep.
Awesome. So a little bit about myself first. James Walker with Aramark Refreshments. Right after high school, I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. Came out, loaded trucks for UPS for a season. Then I spent 22 years at Coca-Cola. And I've been with Aramark. July will be 8 years. And I'm only 35, so it's pretty amazing. Born and raised in West Palm Beach, like everyone on the call, I'm sure that's based down here as well. So that's a good thing. So Aramark Refreshments. I have to tell everyone that the new headquarters, we moved across the river in Philadelphia, is LEED certified, which is a very green certification that's tough to get. So that's very important for us. The company actually started in 1936 by a gentleman who put peanuts in bags and started selling them. And then he started throwing them into vending machines. Before you know it, you've got a $70 billion company with over 270,000 employees, 30 lines of business operating in 21 countries. We've serviced every Olympic Games since 1968. Those 30 lines of business I discussed, refreshments is one of them. We are the smallest. Uniforms, everybody's probably familiar with. We do business, dining, science and technology, a plethora of services that you can imagine. What does refreshments do? Coffee's our main thing. Restaurants aren't typically a huge focus for us. However, we certainly have something that a solution basically for every restaurant type of coffee you can think of. So we do coffee and tea, snacks, filtered water and ice, vending, micro markets, and all supplies. Our goal with the customer really is to consolidate their purchasing. I don't know how much it costs to cut a check to a vendor currently, but I'm sure it's not cheap. Some people buy products from a coffee distributor, also Amazon. They might get stuff through Staples. They might go have somebody stop at Sam's and Costco. We try to consolidate those services and save on a total spend, and just to help folks save time and energy dealing with a million different folks. This talks about how wonderful we are, a Fortune 200 company. Our mission basically is to enrich and nourish lives with coffee. I don't know how many folks in here can't function without their first cup of coffee for the day, but there are probably 80% of the people I run into are like that. They can't do anything without it. So we can provide that for folks.
That makes a lot of sense. I will say
we have good service metrics. We respond quickly. We're in stock with deliveries, etc. We have an online ordering platform that's similar to Amazon, which makes it easier for folks to order. There's volume history and things like that. So it's really easy for them to replenish supplies. Industries we focus on, office environment, we're traditionally an office coffee service. Real estate, meaning the upscale apartment buildings you see, they all provide coffee as an amenity, along with their $2,000 one-bedroom apartments these days. But automotive is a huge thing for us as well. Car dealerships have to provide that coffee. They also have surveys based upon customer experience at those dealerships that the corporate receives, and coffee is sometimes a large part of that. Healthcare, of course, manufacturing, really anybody that provides coffee either to their customers or their employees, we can provide that for them. Some of the brands we deal with, obviously some national brands folks know. Joffrey's, which is actually also right here behind me, is a roaster in Tampa. They're the official gourmet coffee of Disney. Any type of application you can think of in regards to coffee, any type of brew system, which I'm going to show you some of them right now. Some of the units we use, here's some single serve units. By the way, if anybody has any questions about any equipment or anything while I'm going, please don't hesitate to jump in. These are what we call single serve coffee units. Lavazza Professional used to be owned by Mars, the owner of candy company, everything. They sold it to Lavazza Professional for $650 million in 2019. So that does pretty well. The traditional Keurig, which we don't focus on too much in the office space because K-Cups tend to grow legs since everybody has them at home. Ground coffee, we carry the traditional air pots, large batch brewers, glass pots for the old school folks who still want to use Maxwell House and Folgers, which we run into a lot of those, believe it or not. To the right is some of the whole bean coffee options, the bean to cup machines you would see at a car dealership or some locations. You press a button, grinds the bean, makes the coffee, cappuccino, espresso, whatever you like. Cold brew and nitro is huge now. I'm sure everyone sees the Starbucks billboards. Cold brew, nitro, Joyride keg system. What we find a lot is companies, certainly now coming back post-pandemic, want to provide certain amenities, maybe that weren't much of a focus in the past for retention. I just signed a large law firm in Boca that didn't provide anything at all, and they're going nuts. They're going to spend probably $100,000 on coffee in the next 12 months, and they didn't provide it at all prior to the pandemic. So that's kind of cool for us, folks that want to do that to keep their folks in-house and keep them happy. Liquid brew options. These traditionally would be like a restaurant space or a large country club, wait station area. These are pretty good. They can do a cappuccino latte within like 15 seconds. A lot of high volume accounts utilize these liquid coffee options. We have filtered water and ice options available. Some touchless options as well for folks that are still into that. Some of these machines can do sparkling drinks, different flavors, anything you can imagine. The enhanced water is really popular these days, whether it be in ready to drink bottle form or something in a dispenser type system. For large office type setting or manufacturer, we can do micro markets, which is basically a self-checkout superstore. You see them in some hotels and things like that, but really snacks, beverages, fresh food, wraps, salads, sandwiches, heat to eat food items, anything you can imagine here for folks, really designed for locations that are either isolated with not too many lunch options nearby, or folks that maybe have time restrictions in regards to lunch. We place them at some small colleges, manufacturing, and large business type settings. So that's it. Quick and easy. Questions?
What size do your accounts start at with Like what number of employees?
Typically, we look for 50 plus. It would depend on traffic, but we can service, 15 with small coffee machine, filtered water unit, et cetera. We can provide snacks, beverages, pretty much a one-stop shop for anything they would need in a break room type setting. For restaurants, I put a little small Nespresso machine in a pizza place up in Stewart last week. Really small footprint, not a lot of volume, but we can cover any size really.
You really have clients that spend $100,000 a month on coffee? That's great.
A year. If I said a month, I didn't mean it. It's $100,000. Annually.
No, I meant 100, even $100,000 a year. I can't get them to spend that on advertising.
Yeah, you'd be shocked. They're rare. Certainly some of my counterparts like in LA and the Research Triangle area in Carolina, the culture is a little different, so they'll give them everything they want. So I did have a coworker who transferred to Austin, Texas, and she told me a $10,000 account here is about a $50,000 account there, because every snack, every energy bar, every beverage, everything you can imagine, they provide for them to keep them happy. So hoping that comes down here. But this place is doing that. They used to have Keurig machines sitting in there. People would bring in their own K-cups, but it's an amenity they want to provide to prevent turnover. And they advertise they brought in over $1 billion in settlements. So I guess they can afford it.
That's awesome. I work for Comcast. I mean, they do provide us like with the K cups, and
Yeah.
like when I first started there, I was like, it is a perk, like, oh, you're like, wow, they've got the hazelnut, they got my brand.
That's it. Keep them happy.
You supply the equipment.
Correct. We lease equipment and we sell product. We sell the coffee. We sell all the essentials, the creamers, sweeteners, the cups, utensils, paper plates, just anything you can dream of, you can see in a break room, we can provide. And again, that is our focus, the office coffee service, but we certainly have a solution for every restaurant, whether it be the little small Nespresso machine I mentioned, a $15,000 Nespresso machine. We have the cold brew and nitro, large batch brewers, the liquid coffee options. We have a solution for any company that's going to provide, coffee.
Yeah, great. I mean, you're the other person in the group besides me that has seen that coffee maker up in Delray, that AI. I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to organize that so we can do a meeting from their office.
Yeah, I also
so that everybody can see that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I also have a small Nespresso demo machine. So if anyone's doing a meeting in Palm Beach County for, say, a group of 10 or more or something, if you want to bring the pastries, I'll bring my little demo unit and run it for you for an hour or whatever. So that's kind of cool.
All right, great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Nice presentation, thank you.
It's quick. Thanks.
If you want coffee, call James. I want to tell you, the best ad that I have ever seen, and it relates to what James just said, short, quick, sweet, and easy. The best ad I've ever seen, I used to call on restaurant equipment dealers around the state of Florida, and then I was down in Hollywood, and I picked up a local newspaper in print, so it goes back a while. And in the classified section, there was an ad, and it said, it was like the size of the box that we're all in now. And it said, need a condo, call Todd, and his phone number below his picture. And I watched that ad over the months and the years. That ad went from a little box to a full page in that newspaper because it said everything in one line. Need a condo, call Todd. He knew exactly what he did and what he could provide. So that's the beauty of it. Get the right message for your company. All right, well, again, thank you. And I think what we're going to do is introduce ourselves to the new people, and we'll give you an opportunity to jump in after you see what we do. And so we're going to start it off with Lori.
Hello, everybody. Lori Morris with ARF Financial, and the hottest thing that ARF and I'm talking about day in, day out right now is our new revolving line of credit. True revolver. They can take unlimited drafts, unlimited pay down, pay it off at any time. So it's really checks a lot of boxes of what they need. And if you have someone that's opening up a second location and they want to have this just in case, multiple restaurant owners in general, I think just to have access to, I mean, they could take $5,000 and have access to up to $750,000 when they need it. So it's very attractive, and I've just been very busy, introducing it to all my former clients and new clients. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Darren, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Darren Gull with Tracy.net. We take the aches and pains out of communication services. So if you're having any issues or know someone who's having issues with their phone or internet service, we can help them through it. We work with all the carriers. As we like to say, there's lots of options out there. They're not always the right choice for you. So let us guide you through that maze of carrier haze and get you to the solution you want at the price you want to pay. Darren Gull, Tracy.net.
Thank you. Debbie K.
Hello, I'm Debbie Kruzewskis. Most people just say Cruz from DK Consulting. For restaurants, I am focusing on the customer service aspect to give the best service that you would wish to provide based on your value, making sure that your employees understand what your restaurant is all about and what you would like to put out there, and making sure that the customers understand it, come back and have a high profitable rate.
Okay, thank you. Bob Anterville, good morning. You're on mute. I put everybody on mute when James was talking, so you can unmute yourself.
I hate that mute. Bob Anterville, I'm with National Auditing Servicing Consultants, and we perform a forensic audit on businesses' utility bills from gas, electric, water, taxes, and diesel fuel. And what we'll do is we go back 36 months, we review the bills to see if there's any overcharges that the business has paid, and then we recoup those losses and have it paid to the customer. At the same time, we'll continue to monitor those bills going forward for an additional 36 months to make sure that those overcharges don't come back and bite them in the wallet. The U.S. Representatives Ways and Means Committee stated in writing that the overcharges that come from the utility companies are billions with an S, billions of dollars every year. So if you have somebody that's struggling a little bit, a little drop of a few $1,000s to many thousands of dollars could be quite helpful. And I do have a nice referral program. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Strategic Supply, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Rodriguez, John Mulholland looks like he's being his usual road warrior this morning in the car. So we are strategic supply chain partners. We operate or function as an outsourced purchasing department for our clients, helping them lower their cost of that acquisition of food products, as well as paper goods, cleaning supplies, and many other categories on their P&L statement. We do that through a variety of means. First of all, is reorganizing distribution. Secondly, is getting manufacturer direct pricing deals for our clients. Especially valuable service in the current economy. As many of y'all saw, inflation was 11% in April. Prices are going up so fast. By the time we negotiate a deal 3 months later, when it's actually put in place, half the savings we're getting on our clients are getting wiped out with inflation. It is a very tough time for people purchasing in the industry. I have never seen in my 40-year career in the restaurant business anything approaching what we're dealing with right now. So there's a lot of people out there who need help. Anyway, We have a great referral program. Give us a call. We can help. That's it, Howard.
Okay, John, you want to add anything?
Just pretty much summed it up. Sorry, I'm on the road again. I'm driving up to a wedding. The fourth couple I've fixed up to get married. Maybe it's a new career for me. But yeah, just looking forward to working with more people and saving them money.
Okay, have a good time. Debbie Dento, good morning.
Morning, Debbie Dento, Dento Builders. We are a general contractor and love to design, build restaurants. Craig has been in this area building for over 40 years, and hospitality is one of our focuses, as well as healthcare, industrial, and government. We love to take the job from concept through completion. So a lot of times clients will come to us and they have a location in mind, or maybe even a lease. They need a design team. So my first call is always John Marinick. And then we set up the architect, and we have an in-house engineering firm as well. We put together the plans and we can help them move through the process of, and if they have financing available, then they always want a budget, and they want the construction documents. So we help them through that process, as well as getting the permit, of course, and then finally the construction and closeout. So we love to be involved in this industry, and I'm actually on the board of Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association as well. And if you have any clients in that that are looking to open a restaurant, we're happy to help. And I'll try to send out our little booklet that we put out, because we were always hearing the same questions, and we were always trying to help new restaurant owners or potential owners from making some big mistakes. So that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jeremy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Howard. Great seeing everybody. Great presentation, James. Jeremy Ben Israel with Centro Business Solutions. What I do is I help SMEs, businesses of all industries, save money, lower their costs on shipping, accounts payables, really all operating expenses a business has. I'm industry agnostic, but I do help and focus on restaurants and the hospitality sector with inflation and the rising cost of ingredients, and also restaurants having a hard time retaining their staff. I can help with that employee retention. Jeremy Ben Israel, Centro Business Solutions, and thanks, Howard.
Thank you. Andy, good morning.
Morning, Howard. Hi, everyone. James, great presentation, and welcome all the new folks this morning. Andy Baker, founder and CEO of Easy Brew. Essentially, what we do at Easy Brew is we enable venues the ability to produce their own beer on site with no previous experience required. We really add value in really two distinct ways. One is our venues that are producing beer are, reducing their costs by over 70% than buying beer from the distributor. And secondly, they get a huge marketing benefit by, advertising that they're producing their own beer and really drawing in a whole new crowd to their venue. Andy Baker with Easy Brew.
Thank you. I have to connect you with somebody, and I keep saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do it this afternoon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Which reminds me, many times during the week, I read articles or see something online, and I'll forward things to the right members. I send a lot of stuff to Andy, well, not a lot, but information about breweries that may be built or breweries that might just be opening. And the reason I send that, even if it's something that I know we can't do right now, is you don't know what's on the docket for somebody who built a place and maybe opening up a second place. So the information, the interaction between the members is really important during the week. So try to keep that in mind. Peter, good morning.
So more importantly, what I do for a living, I have a really bad joke here. And that's really more important than you know, this is a really bad joke. So I'm not responsible for all the pain and suffering from this, okay?
You were
So-
on mute at the very beginning, so we didn't hear the bad joke.
I didn't do it yet.
Keep him on mute, please. Keep him on mute.
I know. So here's the joke. I didn't write it. We need somebody. We need somebody for this role who is responsible. And the other gentleman says, "Not a problem, sir. Every time something went wrong in my old job, my manager told me I was always responsible."
You know, the sad part is I know where you got that from.
Oh, that was actually good.
You're on mute again, Peter.
My wife loves me on mute. So I'm a business broker in Boca Raton. I sell restaurants. I have a sub shop, by the way, in Homestead for sale. If you know anyone who lives in Homestead and who would like to live in Homestead, right in between Miami and the Keys, interesting place to live. Anyway, it's a very successful sub shop. So I sell restaurants, other types of businesses. It's a very interesting time to sell a business and work with buyers and sellers. There is not a lot of options. Not all you really have to take time to look for a good business, and you have to be able to read financials and between the lines real well. I also want to thank Debbie Dento for a referral. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That was very nice and thoughtful. But if anybody wants me to look at any information, I'd be glad to do that. And it's always done as a courtesy, no fee.
Okay, thank you. Helen, welcome back. You're on mute. There you go.
Okay, hi. Technical difficulties. Hi, I'm Helen Gottesman. My husband and I are starting Delicious Spoonfuls Florida Incorporated, along with Amazing Abilities Incorporated. Delicious Spoonfuls will be our ice cream, coffee, and dessert bar focused on employing people with special needs, especially Down syndrome and autism. We are still fundraising for our nonprofit. And currently we are looking for the best dip cart we can get at the right price, and possibly a small cart that we could use traveling around to different events that we're planning on doing in people's homes, offices, etc. We're looking, think we found the best possible coffees and ice creams. We're open to other suggestions if others have great opportunities. And we had a couple of small events pre-opening, and we will be at the familycafe.net, which is an event focused on anybody with any special need in the state of Florida, any solutions for those people. And we're listed as a micro enterprise based on my son, who has Down syndrome, as one of the owners. Again, I look forward to hearing from anybody who has any suggestions. I'm at 561-676-2078 or deliciousspoonfuls.org. Thank you.
Helen, I sent you an email with a contact for somebody who
And
got the
I
dip
didn't
kit.
hear back from him.
Okay, give him a
So-
call. He's got what you need.
Okay, perfect.
I spoke to him this morning.
Okay, perfect.
John Marinak, good morning.
Good morning, John Marinick, Marinick Food Service Consultants. We basically do consulting and designs for different types of food service facilities. And Debbie, thank you. She gave us another lead, and it seems like it's turned into something. What can I say? We do design, and we're really good at it.
He never says enough. John, do I always have to sell you? Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you about the last one we referred to him. So this is John's little spiel I'm doing right now for him. We signed up Unity Fort Lauderdale, which is like a spiritual center, and they just bought a building and they have a commercial kitchen that they want to build out, and they're going to use it for catering and some of their events. So I sent John the plans and he took one look quickly and he wrote up a summary of, okay, this is basically what's wrong with this kitchen and why it's not going to work. And you won't be able to cook this, this, and that, and the flow is wrong, and you can't do this, and legally you can't do that, and or according to code. And so I sent that to the client, and they said, you know, I was thinking this wasn't quite right. And so John, hopefully he should be signed up soon, but if you're not already, but he's going to save their kitchen basically from being a disaster. And then we also signed up another one, Bristol Republic, right, in Miami. So this guy wants to start franchising too. So it's really important for them to get a good working document for future restaurants as well. So yes, he's an expert. He's the best.
That's why he's here.
Debbie, we have a meeting today about Mazda for their next location for you guys as well.
Okay, good.
I taught him everything he knows. John and I go back a long way. Debbie, that client that you have that may want to franchise, I've got somebody who does that work, putting together paperwork and showing people and consulting on how to franchise. And he's going to be speaking to our group sometime in June. Daria, are you there? From Watson? Okay, Jeff Krantz, good morning.
Hi, Jeff Krantz. I'm with CoCard Payment Systems. We're an electronic transaction company. There isn't any type of transaction that we can't do or work with any type of equipment. It seems like in the last 2 months, the only thing that we've been doing is doing reviews of monthly statements. And it's amazing to me that all of these businesses that have been in business for so long don't get their monthly statements reviewed and are constantly complaining about the overcharges that they get in the credit card processing business. It intrigues me every time we go into or go to a restaurant and they say, oh, no, we have the best prices. And then we go and review and we find out that it might be the best price, but it's not the best way to do the transaction, so that the cost of doing that transaction becomes a very high cost based on the fact that it's part of their overhead. Every single month you have to pay that bill. And if it's not analyzed properly and put through the right processing company, they're worried about the equipment. They're not worried about the transactions. They worry about getting paid. Well, in today's industry, getting paid is easy. Getting the lowest costs for doing what we're doing is not. We analyze whether we work with the customer or not. They might go back to their processor and tell them, well, look, this is what we've been offered, or they might switch over. But more importantly, we're looking to save the merchant, the restaurant, money every time they take the credit card costs. We'd like to help all of them, and in most cases we do. I spend a lot of time these days just educating my 2 kids who work with me on how to approach everybody in the industry and try to get them to do the right thing. We also offer all sorts of other items to the merchants that would help them in their business and advertise them as they work or with business. That's basically it. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn trying to make a living.
Okay, thanks. Terry, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. That was a great end note. And great presentation, James. Thank you for that. Terry, today's restaurant news. I'm the one that will tell you what's opening, where, when, and all of the details. Keeping it short, anybody that wants a sample, send it to me. I know most of the people in our 9 o'clock group get our reports and several here. So happy to send you a sample. They come out every month in an Excel spreadsheet so that you may sort them any way that you would like. City zip, give to your coworkers that take certain areas in the company. If you do South Florida, they do Central or Northern or the Panhandle. There you can divide them up that way as well. We also have Georgia and we have Texas. So, and that's 3 states every month. Today's restaurant news. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Chris Phipps, tell us who you are, what you do, where you are, and you're gonna tell us all about Comcast.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me, Howard. Thank you, members, for giving me this opportunity to tell you what I do. And what I do is I do television ads and I air them locally on all the top networks. I do a lot of stuff with Fox News, CNN, ESPN, the Food Network, HGTV, Bravo, A&E. I probably hit a network that you watch or watch something on them, especially sports and news. And I kind of fell into the restaurant category just because I love restaurants. I'm a foodie. In a past life, I used to be in a band and I used to perform at a lot of restaurants. So when I started doing media advertising 20 years ago, it was a fit for me to go after restaurants. And I get along with, the owners. It's a lot of direct client direct business, which is what we call it. So I'm not dealing with an agency. And at Comcast, I landed Boat Campers and Quarterdeck, which if you're from South Florida, you know those 2 accounts. And they were spending a lot of money with me on a monthly basis, doing a lot of sports packages. And from there, I closed some smaller restaurants, which I love working with just as much. And my big success story, and then I'm going to keep this short and get off, is that I had a little restaurant called Tin Fish in Sunrise, which was basically ready to go out of business. And he actually borrowed the money to do a television campaign. And 5 years later, he's opened a second restaurant now in San Diego. He bought the hair salon next door to his business and expanded. And he attributes all of that to the television advertising. So
Chef Joseph, love that guy.
Yeah, Joseph's, he's awesome. Tell him you met Chris from Comcast. He
knows us.
Yeah.
He helped with our Special Olympics barbecue.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and it's one of my big success stories because I like him personally, and it was so cool to see him get out of the hole he was in and to be the success that he is now. And a lot of it was just putting him on Fox News and CNN and the Food Network, and people seeing what he did and then going to his restaurant. And that's what I bring to the table. And I geo-target, so I'm not going to advertise the sub shop in Homestead in Davie because nobody's going to go there. But I can advertise on top networks just in Homestead and just in Davie and just in Boca. And that's really the magic sauce that I bring to the table versus running ads on broadcast TV. It's very geo-targeted and it's very inexpensive. Some of my campaigns are $1,500 a month, up to $15,000 a month, anywhere in that area.
Wow.
And that's what I got. And I did put my my contact info in your chat. And I did put my playlist, which is on YouTube. And it's kind of funny, I did a testimonial at the start of 2020. That was going to be my focus of business, like some of the others that I heard. I focus on restaurants out of a love for them, but I'm also all across the board. I do medical, I do home services, and I decided I would get my producer, I would get a couple of testimonials, put together this video campaign at the start of 2020, and then we all know what happened. So my testimonial is still up there, and I'm picking up where I left off. A couple of years there, I didn't really do much, but I just signed 2 restaurants last month. So it seems like things are picking back up. And check out my testimonial, check out some of my commercials that I'm running. And thank you for your time. And I wish all of us the best.
Thank you, and
Yeah.
welcome aboard.
Yeah.
James, I want to thank you again for your presentation. Great. And everybody.
I have something to say.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, just to analyze. We don't have a banker in this group.
Not yet.
Well, I'm glad you don't, because if anybody wants to do credit card processing, that's retail. And banks aren't in the business of helping merchants. They're only in the business of giving them services. And the most costly area of credit card processing comes out of banks, not people like myself who represent the actual processors that the banks use as well. They're retail, we're wholesale. If you analyze how the cost of doing business, especially in restaurants, because there's so many transactions, that would be the way to go. And I will 100 times out of 100 always tell a merchant, if you're dealing directly with the bank, then you have to make a switch, whether it be for me or with anyone else. Thank you.
Okay. Lou, I know you can't answer us, but if you could put your contact information in the chat, and Lou and Chris, I do send out a spreadsheet at the end of the meeting with everybody's contact information. So you'll have that today. And thank you all for coming. Any good and welfare? Anybody want to say anything at all? If not,
I just want to mention that Santiago's Bodega opened up. I put it in the messaging there, but we just opened. We finished construction, got their CO. They've been open, I think, now a couple of weeks, and it's in Flagler Village. So please go by there. It's like an art gallery with great food. There's so many things to look at. It's very eclectic and really nice, and the food's great. It's tapas.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds good, Deb. I'll have to check that out.
Jason Dugan is the owner, so he's been there a lot. So ask for him and let
We'll
them
tell
know
him that you sent us. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Jason Dugan?
Yes.
Anybody else? Debbie K, you had something?
No, I actually have to run. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. All right. Everybody's running now. All right.
Thanks.
Meeting is officially over. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
We'll see you all next week. If anybody during the week wants to volunteer to do a presentation, please let me know.